So we're going to get the API for Gemini so that we can generate images inside of Claude Code. So that's something that you might think you have to go to their tool, but because they have an API, we can do it in Claude Code right in our terminal here. So the main things that you need to do that is we're going to go ahead and create, I think I already have one, but we have our Gemini API key in here already. And so the thing with using an API is that you have to have a script that can run to hit that API.
And just so people know really quickly, he just created a .env file. That's where you put in your API keys. And that's how you keep them safe. If you're wondering, like, if I'm ever vibe coding or something, you want to create these files.
If you have a .env file, so there's this other thing called a git ignore, which will pretty much come automatically with like repos that you create. This will have things that when you are committing to this to GitHub, when you want to save your information, these things will not get sent. And so one of those is your .env file. So that means that like if someone else, you want to open source your code, you definitely do not want your keys in there because then someone else could use them. But in your git ignore, it'll automatically have that so that you're not committing that. But that's one good thing to check. LLMs are also pretty good about knowing not to commit that. But in this case, I have this with our Gemini API. So we're just going to say use, so just as a quick demo here, this script that already exists. So use, what should we make an image of?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, why is it better to do it in Claude Code? I guess Claude Code could like write a better prompt for you or something. So maybe something that requires prompting, like maybe we're trying to create an infographic that doesn't look like the normal nano banana infographic style, but instead looks like something more professional and clean and maybe a different size.
Yeah. So let's create a nice infographic, professional, for how to use Claude Code skills. Okay, so this is kind of nice because like in this case, Claude of course knows how Claude Code skills work, so it'll be able to prompt the AI with a lot of that information. The nice thing about doing this in Claude Code is that, for example, if you have, let's say that you really want your images to always have a specific type of style, or you want them to have certain colors or things like that, then what you could do is you could save that as a file. And then you could say, Claude, please create an image and then make sure that you use these brand guidelines. And then you could automatically have those brand guidelines here. Otherwise, like if you're in Gemini, then you have to like copy and paste those every time. And you can kind of like see what works and then save it. So the nice thing about doing it in Claude Code is that it can like make a lot of those like sort of workflows or things like that. It can write the prompt for you and it can do it in here. It can also do other cool stuff. Like if you wanted to, generate like 4 variations of an image at once, then Claude could literally hit the API 4 times in parallel for you, which is something that would be pretty hard to do on your own. So it just kind of unlocks like much more advanced capabilities for how you can use this once it's in code versus using like the sort of typical front ends.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Pendo, the leading software experience management platform. McKinsey found that 78% of companies are using Gen AI, but just as many have reported no bottom line improvements. So how do you know if your AI agents are actually working? Are they giving users the wrong answers, creating more work instead of less, improving retention, or hurting it? When your software data and AI data are disconnected, you can't answer these questions. But when you bring all your usage data together in one place, you can see what users do before, during, and after they use AI, showing you when agents work, how they help you grow, and when to prioritize on your roadmap. Pendo Agent Analytics is the only solution built to do this for product teams. Start measuring your AI's performance with Agent Analytics at pendo.io/Akash. That's pendo.io/AAKASH. I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.